Which is the first fragrance you ever bought?
Actually, the first fragrance that I have ever bought and that I remember buying, it is David Beckham's Instinct, and I bought the fragrance, I guess, in 2010. And I remember uh, to be a very nice smelling fragrance, quite addictive, and it actually was quite cheap and affordable. So at that time, I didn't have much money, and I was a student, or I wasn't even a student. I was in high school, so yeah, I bought it, and I was very happy with that fragrance.
So nice. Which are the fragrance with the best smell?
This is a tough question, but literally, to be honest, I have smelled like maybe hundreds or even thousands of fragrances of smells. But the ones that I have found to be the most fascinating, according to my opinion and my nose and my taste, are actually like this one, which is Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford. This is a mostly vanilla and slightly tobacco fragrance. It has also resins. It has a chocolate note, dried fruits, and it is an amazing smell.
I think too is so sexy fragrance.
Yeah, especially for the winter. And at the time when it was produced, like it was one of the most groundbreaking private blends of Tom Ford.
I agree with
This,
you.
yeah, this with also Tuscan leather, oud wood, were like the most iconic fragrances from Tom Ford, and I appreciate the Tom Ford brand for creating these fragrances. And also, I consider Tom Ford to be the best fragrance brand that it currently exists.
In the market.
Yes.
Mm.
Besides this, also what other fragrance that fascinates me also is Black Afgano. This is created by Alessandro Galtieri, who is an Italian perfumer, and he, with the house of Nasamato and Orto Parisi, has created some of the best fragrances worldwide. It has so many good ones from the brand, like from Nasamato, it is this one, Black Afgano, which is innovative because it has uh, used the cannabis accord in this fragrance, and for this reason it was very innovative at that time when it was created. I think in
It's
it
pretty rare.
yes, it is 2009 fragrance, I guess. It is very good. Also, the other one, it is Pardon. It is a woody chocolate fragrance, and it also has resemblances with Lidge or La Instant de Galon, but with much better performance and way smoother than that. It is also a very good one. And I want to mention that these fragrances are also like extraits de parfum and have a very good performance. Another one from Nasamato, it is Baraonda, which was created in 2018, I think, and it has also a whiskey accord with ambroxan and rose notes. This one, it is a very addicting and very sexy fragrance, and the performance for this one also, it is quite good for what it is. Another one that I wanted to mention from Alessandro Galtieri. It is from the brand of Orto Parisi, and this one, it is called Terrone, or from Italian that I think it translates to rednecks or something like that, which is which are like Italians from the south, and it resembles the smell of like a volcano or magma or something like this of the Earth's core, or it has earthy elements, and it has the fire and the heat in it. It is such a gorgeous fragrance, and it leaves a very good fragrance trail. It is wonderful
this
for
one.
the it is wonderful for the winter time.
And it's also unique, I think, this fragrance.
It has the DNA of like Alessandro Galtieri, and it has resemblances to Nasamato's Black Afgano, especially on the base, but it has its own qualities, and you can buy both of them, and it doesn't feel like redundant having the two of these fragrances. And another like more recent one from Alessandro Galtieri, it is Megamare from Orto Parisi, and this has many like chemical accords in it, like I think ambergris, ambroxan, isoe super, things like this, and it resembles the smell of the ocean. I think it has like the most similar fragrance that I feel that it is similar to this. It is Bulgari's Aqua or Bulgari's Aqua Atlantique. It is in that same ballpark. But this one, especially the batch code that I have, it has like nuclear performance. Even in the winter time, for a freshie, this smells like with 2 or 3 sprays, you can smell this fragrance like it has a really good sillage. And it also has that complement factor because it is a fresh fragrance and it smells quite unique and very good. So yeah, these were like the fragrances that I enjoy the smell of them the most. We have like many of them, for example from Christian Dior. We have Dior Homme Parfum. This is a 2014 creation, created by I guess
Francois Demarchi.
yeah, Francois Demarchi made
French
this one.
perfumer from Dior.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is like the in-house perfumer of Dior.
Responsible for all, I think, for
The Dior own line, yeah.
Yeah. All Dior lines.
Yes, and this one, like the other ones, it is also innovative because from the starting line of Dior Homme, it promotes the note of iris in fragrances, and that resembles the smell of makeup or lipstick or something like that. And yeah, this is the first one like that promoted that note of iris. Besides that, this one it is even denser, richer, and darker because it has a leather note, which smells gorgeous in it.
I think it is one of the best designers' fragrance
Yes.
for all, and it's so unique. And if you have one perfume that is kind of taste, I think one perfume for all life it could be this designers. But it also has the quality of niche fragrances.
Yeah. From the ingredients perspective and from the performance and the overall smell and the complements factor, this one, it's hard to beat it, even though it is a designer fragrance.
Yeah.
So even though it is discontinued right now, this version of 75 milliliters right here, it is an eau de parfum. We have like the 2020 release, which is also good and quite similar to this one. It hasn't had any like significant changes from this version, but as we know, this one it is like the holy grail.
Yeah,
From
I
Dior
think
online.
It's so good fragrance.
Yeah, and other fragrances like that have left an impression on me. Like it is this one, which is Black Oud from the House of Montal. And
Yes.
this one, yeah, has
It
one
has
of the
atomic
performance, of course, but this one has also the note of rose in it. It is
Yeah.
it is made in such a way that It is a jammy rose, also with patchouli and slightly with a nude accord, but it smells wonderful, and it is one of the first niche perfumes that I have ever bought. And it is also like from made in 2008 from Pierre Montal, and it is very good for fall and winter. Another like rare one, it is from YSL, and it is M7. This is the vintage or original formulation.
The first fragrance with oud, I think.
Yes, on the designer
industry.
game, yeah, on the designer
Mm.
side of fragrances. Yes.
The nose behind it is Alberto Morilas,
Yeah.
the Spanish perfumer.
I guess
Makes-
Alfredo Morias made this fragrance together with another perfumer, but I cannot remember right now who the perfumer is. But it doesn't matter. This fragrance smelled like something like boiled red wine, which what I associate this the most with. But it smells really unique
it's so
for a
delicious.
designer, yes, and it is very rare. Performance is really nice, and it is good for also like fall and winter. A special fragrance right here that not so many people have.
I think the design was made from Tom Ford.
Yes, Tom Ford was the director, fragrance director of YSL at that time. Yeah,
That time, yeah.
when M7 was made, it was under the direction of Tom Ford.
It was very interesting.
Yes.
In this detail.
Of course. And also from the house of Chanel, we cannot forget this. It is Egoist by Chanel. This one was made in, I guess, in 1990 or 91. And this was made by Jacques Polge. And it is a great sandalwood fragrance for a designer.
Great French perfumer.
Yeah. I think that this is Paris or France bottled in a fragrance, because it smells such French, but in a very good way.
It's actually a really good fragrance.
Yeah.
But not for all noses, I think so.
Yeah, it is more mature vibes.
It has mere rose in it. I think so.
Yeah.
Rose is detectable note in this
Yeah.
fragrance.
I think, was it like Turkish rose, or I think it was Turkish rose or Damascus rose or
Yeah.
Taif rose.
I think so. And sandalwood detected in this fragrance.
Yeah, the main element that is very good in this fragrance, it is sandalwood, which is made in a very good way, especially for a designer, but also it competes with other niche fragrances. Another staple right here, it is Baccarat Rouge, the EDP version from
Logo
Francis
in
Kurkdjian.
this
Yeah.
For
And this
logo
is-
of fragrance.
Yes, this is one of the like unique DNAs that represents that cotton candy smell, and it was very much replicated and cloned, and many like fragrances were inspired by it. For example, let's say maybe like Instant Crush by Montserrat.
I think so, but this has a
It has that same DNA, yeah,
but this is more strong
and denser,
denser
yes.
and
But it also at the same time it goes to another direction.
yes,
Like it is more animalic. This is much more smoother and clean.
yes, no, that I agree.
Yes. Another one which I like very much, it is Rien Intense Incense from the house of Etat Libre d'Orange. This is an incense bomb, and it is very unique, and I think it is a take on the fragrances of the 80s, which were like powerhouses. For example, let's say like Quarles or like Antilles from
ISL,
Chanel. Yeah. And this one is a take on those fragrances, but with its own modern twist.
I think so. It's one of the most brutal fragrance
Yes,
in the world of fragrances.
it has
Le-
a
it
very
has-
note strong of leather and
Yes.
incense, also aldehydes and like animalic facets to it. It is very strong, very good, very dark, very bitter. But
Also, I think so. This fragrance has to wear in a special occasion, not every day. It has
yeah,
another vibe from all fragrance. When you put all fragrance, this is also so unique.
yes,
All know this fragrance has something unique in it.
in it, yeah, it doesn't have similarities with other fragrances that
Yeah.
I'm aware of. Yeah.
Mm.
So, yeah, just like to summarize, these were like some of the best fragrances, like DNAs right now. I don't have with me like a 1 million, let's say, which was quite the DNA of its own time. Also, I don't have with me like Creed Ventus, which also has a DNA of its own. And I also,
Honorable mention. I
yeah,
would
do
say.
not have like.
1 million.
Did I mention like Dior Sauvage that had also very
Yes,
popular?
it's also good, but I think so. 1 million still is one of the best fragrance in the world. Why the
Yeah.
the smell of 1 million never get bored. Never get bored. Also,
Yes.
when you hear the smell, you
Yeah, especially
No,
that
what
the top
what
notes of
notes?
1 million are very good. It has that blood orange accord and also that
that is
leather or white leather, I guess. It's very good.
It's
And-
very good fragrance. From all fragrance, when you have this Amouage, Clive Christian, Roja, on all of them.
Yes.
But you cannot forget 1 million, the first love.
Of course.
When you
Yeah, it has
the same
its own place
share, yeah,
on
own
history
place.
of the
When you
fragrances, yeah.
have the first
Girlfriend, yeah.
and you
Exactly.
remember her.
Exactly.
Well, 1 million has.
It's just, yeah, that first love, that first kiss, yeah. And yeah, one of the last DNAs that I want to mention that I have here, it is Stronger With You from Armani, but this is the Stronger With You Absolutely version. It is,
Also very good fragrance.
yeah, very good fragrances, and it also has its own DNA, I guess, because it has the chestnut note that not many fragrances have. For example, let's take from by the fireplace from Maison Margiela. It has some of the like resemblances to this DNA, but this one it is very good for what it is. From Stronger With You Intensely, Stronger With You Absolutely, Oud, Leather, all of them like are very good. So yeah.
Okay.
The best nose, according to me, of course, it has to be Alessandro Galtieri, the Italian perfumer.
Also quite interesting for his style.
Yeah, he has a unique style.
Emblematic style.
Yes, he doesn't tell the notes of the fragrances.
Which is quite interesting.
Yes,
from
he
all
also uses very high quality ingredients. It can be seen from the quality of fragrances and from their performance. And a lot of fragrances from Nasomato and Orto Parisi are like bangers for me, but it's not quite a known house like maybe in United States or everywhere in the world, but in Italy they know it quite much.
Italians, I think so, have style for this thing.
These kinds of fragrances that
Italians
Galtieri
have
makes.
style.
Yeah.
Italians know how to live
Life.
their lives.
Yeah.
Well,
That's especially
has
true.
style, Ferrari, all expensive
Designer
stuff.
clothes, yeah.
Designer clothes. The
Like
style of Italians are
the home of fashion is Italy and France. to be honest.
Yes, Italy, but Italy has more to do with expensive things, with
Yes,
some
like
like you know,
expensive lifestyle, of course.
expensive lifestyle, going to party and party, celebrating, very happy people. What is
Yeah,
what it is?
that is very true. So yeah,
What fragrance means to you?
uh, to be honest, fragrance means a lot to me. Like most of my time and my thoughts and my thinking, I dedicate to fragrances. Like
Quite,
reviewing
I see it. You
fragrances.
have so much passion for
Yeah,
perfume. When you talk it, you talk like these are alive or people or
yes,
else.
that is quite funny. But for me, in my own world, in my own like way of thinking, fragrances are not just fragrances. As I was talking about, fragrances to me like are quite alive, and it's fascinating that as what a smell can do for your mentality, for your way of behaving and your way of being. But fragrances to me like are like everything. I dedicate like it's crazy to say, but maybe 80% of my brain is occupied with with fragrances.
Quite interesting.
Yeah, I in the first place I think of buying fragrances, then like buying clothes or like buying food or things of this kind. So fragrances are like very primal to me in my life and in my way of how I behave and who I am. So yeah, it is to be honest, it is an expensive addiction, and I tend to get bored with fragrances quite fast. But I also like tend to trade them and change them and experience different fragrances. But
Also quite interesting
yeah,
to share information, to
to
share
share
perfumes.
information, ideas, compliments, stories, experiences, it
Yes,
is very fascinating.
and more interesting. I think so. People who likes
Yes,
fragrance are also interesting. When you have to speak with someone, when you speak for fragrance or perfumes,
yeah,
also see it uh, also a positive man in these hard hard
general in life, yeah, they
tough
are positive
tough
people.
days.
Yeah,
It
of
makes
course.
them happy. I see it when I buy a lovely one. Example, my girlfriend,
Yeah,
my especially
friends,
my
family,
mother.
yeah, yeah.
When I buy to her, it also creates another feeling of pleasure, and
And
it is
like sharing with someone,
yes,
creating
it's
good moments. Yeah,
creating good moments,
yes.
good times
For
to.
example, let's say that I have put for example tobacco vanille for my birthday, and whenever I smell this, it transports me through time to that
Yes, of
exact
course.
moment of my birthday. It is very interesting with fragrances that it takes up that memory and it saves it like forever. So whenever you smell that fragrance again, it transports you through time to that particular moment, which is an interesting thing about fragrances. So yeah, it also fragrances are known for me especially like they boost my confidence, they enhance my mood. I feel better wearing fragrances, and it also completes my style and personality and who I am. And also it is like that cherry on the cake. For example, when you dress well, you dress good, you dress in style, and you put on that favorite fragrance of the day,
thank you for the interview.
Yeah, thanks, my
There was,
friend. Yeah, for the questions. And yeah, these were like my opinions to some of the questions regarding to the fragrances. And yeah, thank you a lot for viewing. Have a nice night. Thank you.